Hello and welcome back. This video is going to give you a better idea of one of three aspects that I think need to be addressed by teachers to the learner: backshifting, which is found in any of these cases. So reported speech in the classical usage, indirect questions, requests for politeness, being indirect, and for expressing conditions, irrealis, counterfacts, etc. It involves taking the first verb in a sentence or question, whether it be a modal, auxiliary, or main verb, shifting it back from present to past or from past to past perfect, as they call it, or it would serve various functions or a combination of these functions here, including intellectualizing. Intellectual aspects are assumptions, contemplation, predictions, deductions, etc. So if I had a dog means I don't have a dog. By contrast, if I didn't have a dog means I do have a dog. If I have a dog, I would go out more, but I don't, and so I don't go out enough. Backshifting of have for politeness, consider the following. You should have, or you should do something. And if you add have, you should have done something. So here you have a past context with have, again, irrealis, it's hypothetical. And it's time you, and then take the verb and backshift it. It's time you understood this aspect in English. You had better is the same form. Backshifting of have meaning the situation. The situation is you have to better understand, so you had better understand. The to goes away, and if I were you is making a suggestion or giving advice. And so all of these aspects are conditional, but also being polite. If you take away the had here, you better is more of an order, a threat, or strong criticism. So we understand here why had is better. In all cases, actually here, in this case, it's time is a simplification. And this is another aspect of English that needs to be looked at. We'll look at in later videos. Politeness and backshifting. You take a verb and you're putting it one step back. Take a look at the table here. You take the present to the past. Did you want to say something? It's better than do you want to say something? Again, here I was wondering whether you could help me. And yes, I thought you might. If you're gifting somebody and they say, thank you, I thought you might like it. In a past context, you would add the had. I hadn't thought of that. You had better tell me or her about it. And we were supposed to be here. You were supposed to be here. Futurity includes always, were you going to say something? Here is the modality, would you pass me the salt? And notice here you have futurity. In this sense, you are to greet her with courtesy. So we're using a present form to talk about a future event. In this case, instructions given before the actual formal event. Then we use it in conditionals and subjunctive mood, whereby whether or if is omitted. So had we spoken earlier, I could have told them. Whether may replace if when there's something to compare. That's why we have an ER. It's also like rather is actually comparative. Rather, I rather like this. It is also ER, comparative. I prefer ER. That's a subject for another video, but let's go on. To sound more polite, consider, I find you acted somewhat rash towards your parents. So this is a way of softening. These are words in bold to soften, and the ones underlined are in backshifting. I was hoping you understood it, and not let's hope you understand. And politely asking for clarification. I didn't quite understand what you meant. More polite than I don't understand what you're saying. Less complicated and I don't understand what you have just said. Or sorry, I didn't catch that. Simpler and backshifted. Please remove those shoes of yours. Here we're using those as a distance. These shoes, those shoes is a way of backshifting, in a way, distancing to be polite. In Wikipedia, it mentions backshifting, but they call it here attracted sequence. I find that's not quite complete because attracted sequence can be different aspects. Whereas backshifting is specifically this here. In this case here, you see an example with reported speech. Unfortunately, this only shows reported speech. It's not as complete as what I just explained. So thanks for listening and keep watching. I'll be putting other videos about modality and other aspects in my next videos. Thank you.